Welcome to First Person Defender. Real people put into realistic self-defense training scenarios.
These are real scenarios.
Hey, give me your money.
The role player does not know what's going to happen. We go through the first scenario, see how they handle it, and then we pick one thing that they could have done to increase their survivability. Train it a little bit, and then run them through a similar scenario.
Each weapon is loaded with Simunition FX marking cartridges, the most realistic, non-lethal alternative to live ammunition. Simunition is the closest thing to the real deal.
Once you feel the pain penalty once, you don't want to feel it again.
For this type of force-on-force training, role players are required to wear protective gear.
Come on, hit me.
It is as real as it gets. Heart rate's elevated, their respiratory rate's elevated, their adrenaline is dumping into their blood. They are scared and amped up.
I got a gun! Back up!
Get out of my house!
On this edition of First Person Defender,
We've got a scenario, basically a husband and wife team scenario, where we're going to put them in a situation where it's a home invasion, essentially.
returning to FPD is husband and wife team, Chris and Michelle Serino.
I'm actually really excited about being in a scenario with my wife. The first scenario, she wasn't really with me. She was more involved in the scenario and she wasn't operating with me.
It's kind of tricky because Chris has got a lot of training, a lot of experience, and Michelle admittedly has said, you know, I don't have a whole lot of experience.
I have had a little bit of training. I went through a couple of Chris's classes. I sit there with them.
She's watched Chris, and obviously they've been together for a long time. And through osmosis, you pick up a lot. All right, so just scenario, like the last one, this is your house. The layout hasn't changed. All right, come on back. You got your daughter's bedroom over here. She's about 8 months. 7 months.
Tiny.
Here we are in your master suite.
This is nice.
All right, yeah, it's a nice little spread. I actually talked to Chris ahead of time and said, hey, what do you have in your room? What do you keep in your room?
I have an AR in a bag. I have a pistol in the nightstand. Sometimes there's more than one.
So we put the pistol in the nightstand, patrol rifle in the same condition 3 that he carries it in.
I have a feeling that I'm going to be using both of these weapons in this scenario.
What I'd like to see is that Chris covers movement across that hallway, protects her as they go to retrieve their child, uses directed fire on their adversaries' locations to get the child back into what we told them is a hard room, basically attached to their bedroom. You guys are just hanging out, laying in bed, reading. Any questions?
No, just let it happen. I talked to Michelle before the scenario. She said, what do I do? I'm really nervous.
I've been really a little bit concerned about how I would handle it.
I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we're going to react to it the best we can, okay? Sure. I said, listen, you know what the mission is. And really the mission is to survive. I said, focus on the mission, and everything else will take care of itself.
They're hanging out in their house, and 2 unsavory characters kick in their door. Yeah.
They immediately go into action. Chris took no time at all, giving her the instructions, get the gun. He went around the corner, started dealing with the adversaries.
The Ruger LC380 is the perfect pairing of the award-winning LC9 pistol and the popular 380 auto cartridge. It features a dovetailed high-visibility 3-dot sight system, 7-round magazine, and finger grip extension floor plate. The Ruger LC380, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Nosler Defense Ammunition is loaded up front with the bonded performance line of bonded core defense bullets. Professionals trust their next move to Nosler Defense.
When the bond between hand and gun feels as true as a perfectly placed shot, it's not by accident, it's by design. M&P, advanced by design.
they immediately go into action. Chris took no time at all, giving her the instructions, get the gun. He went around the corner, started dealing with the adversaries.
Hey! Get out of my house! Joe, grab my rifle.
It was a constant barrage of bullets. I was really having a hard time keeping behind cover and delivering accurate fire.
I don't know what's going on down the hall. Yeah, Chris is looking down the hall, but I can't really see what's going on.
I ended up transitioning to my weak side. I wasn't utilizing the laser and the light because I was holding it with my not favored hands. So I bared down, I got on the sights, and I got one of the guys. When I came back out from behind cover, I saw the other guy bolting out the door. I started moving down the hall. I'm taking the hallway back.
Stay down! Stay down! Stay down!
I was going after that second guy.
Make yourself. We're good, we're good. Call the police. Call the police. Index.
Good thing I dropped you because then you bolted, and good thing you got out fast because you were about to get it in the back.
Hey, Roger that. That's why I moved here and over here quick.
Although Chris was able to defeat the adversaries, there are a few things that he could have done to have been more effective.
We could talk about shoulder bump, and we could just talk about a basic angle man corner boy moving into that hallway, protecting your buddy, getting in a room, fighting for rooms.
After a short discussion, Destin shows Chris the shoulder bump method.
Instead of trying to switch my hands to give me the best advantage down the hallway, is I'm just going to drive the gun forward and bring it back in to my support shoulder, keeping all my primary fire control hand on the fire control group. Now, the issue that we have usually is if my sling's too tight and my stock's all the way out. Now, when I tell you to do this, you're like choking yourself. So, two methods that we can do. As you come out of the sling, the arm's here, collapse that stock, now drive it over.
When Destin showed me how he transitions to using the weak side shoulder with the strong grip, slipping out of the sling, I'm familiar with. But the way he slipped out of the sling and then collapsed the stock, very useful.
I'm coming here, boom, and I'm switching it up.
I love it.
The shoulder bump not only helps Chris have better control of the weapon, but it also allows him to take full advantage of his laser.
In low light conditions, it's hard to get this little tiny rear side aperture. Even if you're shooting a red dot, whatever, it's hard to get that perfect cheek well. But man, if I'm out here and even if I'm all pinned up, I can still key that laser on. I might not have stock well. I might not have my good alignment, my sight picture, but if I see laser and it's on a bad guy, I'm taking that shot. So let's go ahead and give you the gun.
The shoulder bump. Check. Now for the tricky part.
We have other doors leading to your daughter's room. We have to get to that little girl. Of course, we don't want to just go blindly out into a danger area. If we can hold here, that's our primary option. Situation, mission's going to drive everything, but for this scenario, our goal is to get her and get back to your hard room. So at some point, you're going to have to communicate to her. Let's just say there was a lull in the gunfire, even though these guys didn't give you much of an option. At some point, you're going to come out after communicating, and that's your cue to go behind him. He's going to basically be providing cover down the hallway, one with his body, and two with his weapons. So as Chris bumps out.
Joe, we gotta get the baby. You move with me, okay? Stay behind me. Ready? Ready? Go!
There you go. Awesome. He's automatically gone to a secondary source of cover. She grabs the baby. Now you have to communicate with him.
Destin worked with the two of them. And again, you know, Chris has got a lot of knowledge.
He already knew some of the stuff that we were showing him, but it was a good reminder.
And it was just refreshing some things that he's used before in the past and looking at the puzzle in a different way, looking at the problem in a different way.
I like the shoulder bump for expediency, for sure. A lot of trainers have been teaching it, and sometimes, you know, when you're not comfortable with things, you stay away from it.
Sometimes you get guys that just say, hey, this is one way, it's the only way it can be done, and those are real hard guys to train. So his open-mindedness makes it, real easy to work with. Let's go out and reset the house and do it again.
Black Ops, the baddest tactical 1911 on the planet.
The misunderstood 223 cartridge is a great home defense round, and no, it doesn't punch through walls. In fact, handgun rounds generally go farther through walls than a 223 bullet. But you need the right bullet for personal protection, the kind found in the new Nosler Defense ammo for the 223. Some 223 ammo is full metal jacket, others are made for shooting varmints, quick expanding, but with little penetration. When your life depends on performance, it all comes down to the bullet. First Person Defender, brought to you by Ruger Firearms, Smith & Wesson, Nosler, Crimson Trace, Simunition, and Remington. Scenario 2 starts off nearly identical to the first scenario.
They're getting ready for bed. They just put the baby down. They hear that loud thump in the night.
Chris and Michelle immediately go into action.
They got the gun. He made it out into the hallway. Immediately started taking fire from the bad guys down the hall.
Stop right there! Get out of my house!
I first poked around the corner and I immediately took a shot right in the thumb.
Shell, we gotta get the baby, we gotta get the baby. Get my rifle, Shell!
Sounded off to his wife to get the rifle, and that's when we brought the big guns out. And he had fire superiority at that point.
Right away, I was able to go to weak side shoulder, bump it over, and shoot with my strong side. Therefore, I was able to squeeze and use that laser a lot.
I saw the green laser floating through, you know, the dust in the air, and I said, ooh, I don't want to get shot again.
The baby! Gotta get her! Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Chris was using that cover and putting, you know, accurate fire on us.
Go, man, get out of here! Ready?
Yeah. No.
Let's go, go.
And they got to the child.
So I went and grabbed the baby, and I knew I had to get to a safe place in the house.
Come on, let's go, move!
This firefight that we were just in was fantastic.
He had much better directed, accurate fire on us as the adversaries.
I was able to keep them down substantially better this time.
You had us dialed in, I was going like this. I was bang, bang.
Bad guy tactics. We all see it. Somehow bad guys, you know, don't know how to shoot and they hit everything they're aiming at. They don't even aim.
Those 5.56 marking cartridges hurt.
Yeah, it's the real deal.
How many did I get you? With 3 in the back?
I don't know.
It looks like 3. There's
We
one
got
there.
1, 2.
As I was running away.
We're still in my house. I don't know if you're going out for more ammo.
More
or
ammo,
for
backup,
reload.
an extra gun.
Yeah, I can't have any part of that. Just because you get away from me doesn't mean you're not going to pull that gun that you just used on me on the next person that encounters you.
You go up and contact somebody.
You're still a deadly threat. I tell you what, using the shoulder bump in conjunction with the laser, piece of cake.
It's applicable for this. If it works for you and it gives you that much more of an edge,
Worked great because I was able to get into position quicker.
So,
that was great.
Well, you guys did an awesome job, man.
I really enjoyed it because it's the first time I really ever got to do anything that was force on force or this dynamic with my wife involved.